everybody. My name is Owen Lyon-Smith. Nice to meet you all. I think it's probably good we start out by addressing the stick bug in the room, which is me. I'm a very skinny person. I always pretty much have been. And I think you probably knew that, because whenever I meet people and I tell them I have 0% body fat, they're never surprised. I think because they're always thinking like, yeah, you're about 90% bone, 10% skin. Like, yeah, for sure. And like, you know, when I get to know somebody a little bit better, maybe they'll ask me, you know, like, but how much exactly? Like, just how skinny are you really? Like, give it a number, you know? And I'm like, I want to be generous to myself. I'm about 100 pounds. You know, like, I want to be, you know, be honest and stuff. And I think people, too, sometimes have an assumption, you know, like, they get a little worried about me. About, you know, maybe I'll fall and I might die, right? I did actually have an experience once where I tripped in front of a bunch of friends and they all went, no! And I like watched as I was falling. And I could almost hear in their heads like a David Attenborough voice just going like, although an Owen can live to be up to 80 years of age, this one has perished at the young age of 21. Because unfortunately, unlike most other Owens, his bones are made of pretzels and loose tissue paper. And you'll notice in that dramatization, I didn't say they were wrong, because they're not, all right? Like, I'm what an expert might call structurally unsound, right? Like I'd say the best analogy would be like an endgame Jenga tower, right? Like, everyone knows it's gonna topple over, but the question is when, and whose fault will it be, right? The game is afoot, you know? There was a period of time too where I was gonna work out. I was gonna get buff. I went through a workout phase, but I quit pretty quickly because I realized that a nerd with muscles is like a piñata with a hat. It just gets the shit beaten out of it anyways. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just, oh, this piñata's got a hat on it. I don't care. It has candy, doesn't it? Get the bat. Like nobody's gonna wait. And some people make weird assumptions too. I mean, people think the exact opposite about me. Like one time I met a guy who was like, yeah, you're skinny, but I can tell you're scrappy. You're a born fighter. I'm like, what? I'm a born fighter? Are you kidding me? I don't even make a weight class in fighting, right? There's like heavyweight, lightweight, featherweight, malnourished, right? Like, I'm not gonna make it as a fighter. Are you kidding me? And I have a pretty good attitude about it too. I had two very sarcastic British parents, and I think they gave me a good attitude, just kind of laugh and joke about stuff. Like, I'll tell you this story as an example. So my mother's name is Katrina, and when I was younger, there was this event going on. Some of you might have heard of it. It's called Hurricane Katrina, and I was old enough to understand like the gravity, you know, and the devastation of what was happening, but I was not old enough to know that it was not my mother's fault. So one night we're having dinner, you know, I've just seen a little news segment. We come over to the table. I'm the first one to talk. I go like, I just want to say that I forgive Mom for what she did in Louisiana. And my daddy like spits out his drink. He's like, what exactly did Mom do in Louisiana? What just happened? And I was like, well, it said on the news that she killed at least 100 people. And my mom, you know, like very quick wit, she's just like, it's been known to happen. Maybe eat your vegetables, right? Like, so when that's your family, right? You know, I mean, I wasn't going to be embarrassed or anything. If somebody says you're skinny, I'm not like, don't look, right? Somebody says you're skinny, I'm like, that's right, bitch. Put me outside a car show. See what happens. Fucking. Before quarantine, my hair is a lot shorter. I think it adds a dimension to that joke, honestly. I think it makes it more fun. I have like a habit of joking too, probably from my parents as well. Like maybe telling jokes when I probably shouldn't. I think they're hilarious, but maybe I shouldn't be telling them. Like here's an example. So my ex-girlfriend and her divorced mother were having a conversation about how hard it is to plan and execute a wedding. And her mother said this sentence. She said, oh my God, at my wedding there were so many mistakes. And I was like, yeah, like the marriage. Which, while objectively hilarious, was not the right thing to say. And it's not like that was a one-time thing, right? Like that has happened more than once. Like I remember there was a time not 2 weeks earlier talking to my ex-girlfriend where she was like, Owen, yeah, it was very sweet. She's like, Owen, if you were going to create a love letter, what would you write on it? And I was like, probably somebody else's name, which it was too perfect. It was set up. I couldn't not. I had to say something. And I'll leave you with this little bit, which, I mean, talking about, you know, my parents and their sense of humor, I'll leave you with, I think, the best roast I've ever received, which was from my mother, right? That same ex-girlfriend, I was packing for a trip to California, right? And I was packing a suitcase, and I was packing a box of condoms, right? So I'm packing the box of condoms, and my mom walks in, and I, like, throw it in the suitcase. I close it really quickly, trying to make her not see. It didn't work, of course. Obviously, she saw it, right? This is all my mother said, right? Calm as she could, right? She turned around, walked out of the room, and she went, Ooh, didn't mean to see your lifetime supply there, buddy. Oh. She's fucking brutal when you think about the fact that's my mom, right? Like the woman that raised me, and she's basically like, you've only got 12 in you, mate, right? Like she's not even like a little nice, right? And some of you are thinking like, Owen, you'll be fine, you know, and some of you are thinking like, all the best roasts are based on some truth, right? So fuck you guys. I wish I could, but I gotta save them. Okay, I've been Owen Lyon-Smith. You guys have been wonderful. You have a great night. Got so many great comics.
Give her Owen. Yeah. I didn't know you were British. It was like, oh, he's British. Like kind of feeling like it's almost like you're homeschooled when I hear that. Oh.